Hi guys, this is Soumya Acharya, and today I'm here to share some tips with you on how to handle kids who are throwing tantrums. So let's get started. Tip number one: set rules in your family. There always has to be certain rules that must be there for each one of us to follow in a particular family, be it us, be it our partners, or be it our kids. The rules has to be same for everybody. You can't expect your son to follow a particular rule, and it can't happen that you don't follow that particular rule which you have set, right? It has to be the same for everyone, and in case if there is a deviation, there should be equal opportunities for others in the family to raise that concern and help you acknowledge the fact that you've not been following the rule and it's a mistake, right? So that sort of an atmosphere must be definitely there, and following these rules will enable your kid to follow a certain discipline, and they will also have a guideline for them to act and not deviate from it, right? So that's the rules for every family is a must, and it not only applies to your children but also to you as well as to your partner, right? Tip number two: if your child is acting cranky, or if your child is obsessive about a particular toy or a particular object, in case if you are losing your patience and your kid is really pushing your buttons, and you don't want to buy your child a toy, or you don't want to oblige to your children's request, the thing that you could do is you could not reject the request directly, but you could postpone it for a while. Let's say if a child is asking for a toy, and it is really cranky over it, and he or she is really cranky over it, and they are really pestering you to buy that toy, and you don't want to buy that toy for him or her. What you could do is you could set a clause wherein they could earn this toy by doing certain thing. It should be a reward. It should be a reward instead of directly obliging to their request. It should be a earned memento for them, and it has to be associated with a clause. For example, let's say a child is really pestering you for a particular toy. You can always say that if you follow this and this and this, and if you do this and this and this for a continued period of time, and if I'm happy with the way you've been doing this, I will do this, I'll get this toy for you after a certain point of time, let's say 6 months or 8 months, provided they have been consistent with whatever you've asked them to do, right? So that way your child's focus will be on earning that particular object of interest, and they will also focus on how they would get that object of interest, instead of going back to the same topic of pestering you over and over again. Now if they are still not happy, then again it comes back to rule number one of setting rules in your family. So that has to be really strict, and without rules there's nothing that can function, right? Even the traffic in our city, we follow traffic rules, so there has to be rules everywhere. Otherwise there will be a lot of deviations, and it would lead to accidents. So that's my second tip for you guys. The third tip is, if you lose patience, be silent. You don't have to respond or react to that particular situation. Sometimes children really get cranky over certain things, and they will have certain emotional outbursts, which is okay. We should let them express their emotional outbursts, but we don't have to really respond or react to it. Just stay silent, and they will get the answers. Not everything has to be dealt with a response or a reaction, right? And whatever you have to tell them, you just tell them in an assertive way and stop. You don't have to repeat over and over again. Statement followed by silence is a means of exerting power, and it showcases your authority, right? And if you have to repeat the same thing over and over again, then that means your words doesn't have value, and your children will definitely not value your words henceforth too. So it's better to say something in an assertive way, and that's it, done. Only silence should speak. Slowly your children will understand, that their behavior is kind of switching you off, and they would start coming up with different tactics and different techniques to kind of smoothen you out, right? So that's one of the very effective technique that you could use with your children in order to discipline them, right? Point number 4, if your child is crying, do not tell them do not cry. Crying is one of the way of expressing your negative emotions. So all your dense emotions are coming out. So irrespective of the gender, be it a boy or a girl, if they are crying, let them cry their heart out, right? So it will definitely make them feel lighter. Just asking them not to cry only disturbs them emotionally more, and probably if you start telling some things like boys don't cry, you should be a grown up, you should be stronger, and things like that will only hamper them emotionally. But if you want to build the endurance in them mentally, you have to let them cry, and if you have to let them do whatever they feel like doing at that point of time without hurting themselves. If they want to, if you want them to lighten up a bit, and once they lighten up, once they calm down, you could always go and talk to them in a softer note as to what happened, why did they behave in such a way. Number 5, if your child is obsessed over certain things, obsessed over a certain object, or obsessed about a person, don't revolt. Try and understand why are they acting in such a way. The reason we get obsessed about something is because we are not getting that love or that attention from the people around us, and that's why we are looking for something outside. When we feel fulfilled, within our family, when we are filled with so much love, when we are given so much love, we don't really look for love outside, right? We don't get attached to something else outside. But when we feel that we are not loved, when we feel lonely, when we feel rejected, that's when we start looking outwards, right? So there is a reason for your child to get obsessed about a particular thing, about a particular object, about a particular person, or be it an animal. Try and understand what is the reason for that obsession. Why is your child being obsessed about that particular object or animal or people, or it could be anything. The underlying cause could be that your child is feeling lonely, and I'm not saying that could be the only reason, but this could be one of the reasons. So effective communication, spend your time talking to your children, spend your quality time understanding their emotions, why they do whatever they do. So effective communication, I've always been saying this, is very important to help your children open up and talk about their problems, right? So please do understand why exactly your children behaves in a particular way, and why exactly they are obsessed about particular things. There could be underlying cause. Go to the deep, go to the root of the problem instead of dealing with the problems from the surface level. In case if you need assistance, please seek assistance. It's for your welfare and it's for your children's welfare, right? So that's my tip number 5. Tip number 6. Your children are exactly the replica of you, right? Now if you're finding them cranky, I think they would have imbibed certain qualities of losing their temper, or showing their frustrations out, or showing their crankiness from you. So it's time that you self-reflect as to what exactly are the things that you're passing on to your children, because they don't learn anything new from anywhere else. Schools, colleges, atmosphere, environment, family, friends could also influence them to a certain extent, but the root is here. and they would have developed certain characteristics from you, right? So it's time to self-reflect, and in case if you want certain things to change in them, you also might want to self-reflect and see if you have to change certain things in yourself for them to, you know, get inspiration from you and change themselves later, right? So I hope these tips are going to be helping you in understanding your child psychology better, and also help you in improving your parenting techniques. And in case if this video added some value to you, please feel free to share this video with many more such parents who want to improve their parenting techniques or understand the child psychology better. Thank you so much for listening to me. Stay safe. Cheers. Bye-bye.